This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome into this week's edition of Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast all about the 2023 spring football season, brought to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance. This week, it is all about the offensive lineman, and joining me today first is offensive line coach Matt Moore. Coach, thanks for joining me, and let's talk about spring practice. 1 week in, what do you like so far about your guys?
Well, you know, the way we break up spring practice is we got 3 install days. So really, we've had 3 first days. We've run different schemes every single day. So we're hoping to come back around starting Tuesday. It's our second time through, so we'll be a little more polished. And really, for O-linemen, the first 2 days are nothing but helmets. So they're kind of run-through practices. So we had a pads day on Saturday, so that was our first real banging day. So now we're going to start being able to see what's going on. But I've felt really good about the as far as the scheme, the knowledge, I feel like we've gained a lot of football IQ has gone up this offseason. Got better depth than we've had in a while, returning everybody up front. So our communication's been really good. So really excited about the type of spring we're going to have and really work on developing some depth from these young guys.
Your group, so much experience back. Talk about how valuable that will be, not just this spring, but going into the season.
Oh, yeah. It's just knowing how to prepare for the season, knowing how to prepare for games, and have been there, done that. You know, I've got several guys who've had a lot of snaps they're going to be more relaxed going into the year and just really getting that year older and getting stronger. We're going to be more physical up front. And we're setting the tone really for the offense of how we work. And that's our big thing. And that's been, we've really worked hard at setting that tone and being the hardest working, being the group of guys that work off the field the hardest when it comes to film study. So really having that experience coming back is really huge.
Talk about some of the shuffling around that you've done. I know Doug Nestor is now from guard to right tackle. Jaquay Hubbard also switched. Just talk about the player personnel changing spots and why you decided to do that.
Well, it's not a switch as much as getting guys snaps at other places, because what's really important is you don't want to be pigeonholed into just being able to play one position. You got to make, like, if you watch practice closely, you say, I got Wyatt Milum's played some center and some drills. Starting this week, Doug will be playing center. And then Yates will be at guard, and then Hubbard will be back out at tackle. So you really want to try to go through those first 3 days and then flip a lot of people around, because you gotta figure out who's best at what position, not just who's best overall as far as the starting 5. And it's just really good for these guys to be able to play multiple positions down the road. Next year when these guys have a chance to go to the draft, it bumps your draft stock if you can play multiple positions. Like right now, Doug can play all 5 positions. He can play from left tackle to right tackle. And, he's a senior going into the year, and that's really going to help him down the road, being able to do that and do it professionally, not just, hey, I know how to snap, but he's going to have reps where he's going to snap live in games. And I like to be more of an overall player on my offensive line, where you're not just a one position guy. I want them to move around and understand how the whole thing works.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes total sense. You have all this experience returning, but you also have to develop these younger guys. So who are some of the younger guys that you're excited about?
Really excited about Charlie. He's playing center. He was playing tackle. Moved him to center. He's shown some really good things at center. He's got a great football IQ. Charlie Catterin, he's done a really good job. Sully Weedman at guard. He's gotten, these guys were, they're freshmen right now, and they've got a ton of reps, and they're really starting to develop. Mo Hamilton at left guard he's really got some natural things as far as his twitch and his ball get off and his speed. And as he gets more and more reps, we're going to develop that position. He's done a really good job. And, Johnny Williams, coming in as a true freshman, has had a really good spring, has done some really good things. I just feel really good about these young guys. Dylan, I got him playing left tackle behind Wyatt, and really he's getting a lot of reps there, and he's played a lot of right side last year. He's really starting to develop as a player. Malone's doing a great job. He's another guy that can play 4 of the 5. I've never had him snap, but I really feel good about these guys gaining some real experience and getting some depth built in this O-line room.
The success of the offense starts with the guys up front. So when you have Nico or Garrett back there, the running backs, they have to really like set the tone for the offense and talk about who they're going to be blocking for. You got Garrett and Nico back there. You've got running backs returning. So a lot of experience behind these guys, just them setting the tone for the guys behind them this season.
Yeah, and it's so important that the O-line understands how the running back, how the play sets up. And that's one thing where I say our football IQ's gone up. A lot of my guys understand now what the running back's trying to do at the line of scrimmage, how he's trying to make the play work, and that makes our blocks much easier if the running back's doing his job. And we've got some guys back there. Coach Scott does a phenomenal job of teaching those guys and teaching them how to be patient. We're really excited about the quarterback situation. We got guys that can run around, which really helps us. It really, when things do break down, we got guys that can go make plays that can get us out of trouble when we do mess up. So, we feel really good about both of those positions. Running back is really deep, and it was cool because we're different. We've got big bodies, we got little fast guys, we got some stuff that we feel like we can get going and really have a really unique offense this year.
I know it was really important for you last year to really improve upon 2021. In fact, last year you gained 48 more yards on the ground rushing. As far as sacks against, you were dead last in 2021. Last year you moved up to third, only giving up 144 yards. What kind of improvement do you need to see this season?
Well, we've just got to continue to cut down on those negative yard plays. We got to cut down on the negative yard plays as far as tackles for loss, sacks, which that's really something we've been harping on over the last season, and we did a way better job at that. And we got to continue to finish down the field. We got to finish blocks. We got to fit on the second level, third level when we can get there and create those 5-yard runs need to turn into 10-yard runs. And, a big part of that's the receiving core. So far this spring, I'm really fired up about how our receiving core is blocking because they're the ones that really turn the 5-yard gains into huge plays when they block safeties, when they stay on their blocks at corner. So those guys have been doing a really good job. Bilal Marshall's done a really good job of staying on those guys and teaching them how important it is to block. But, yeah, we got to really cut down on the lost yards plays, sacks, tackles for loss, and a lot of time that goes back to communication. You got to know who's on who. You can't get confused and turn people loose, and we've really worked hard at that. And again, that goes back to football IQ and just getting more movement at the line of scrimmage, creating bigger holes, being able to get more yardage. And that's what we did last year. We just got to continue to get better at it.
All right, Coach Moore, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're talking to some of these offensive linemen coming up next. Stay with us. This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain, a video podcast brought to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance, your one-stop need for home, auto, business, life insurance needs. They're ready for what's next. Joining me now, Zach Frazier, Tomas Rimac. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Let's just talk about spring practice. 1 week in, how's it going?
It's going good so far. I think all the guys are working hard and trying to get better day by day. So,
how do you feel, Tomas?
Well, I feel like everybody comes here to play football, and like everybody likes off-season lifting, but everybody gets excited when it's time to hit, so that's why I enjoy spring ball.
You started the last 5 games at left guard. What did it mean to you to get into that starting position?
Right. It was just I was excited. It was a great opportunity because nobody likes being that second or third string, but, you just got to work and wait for your opportunity. I just took advantage of it.
Zach, your experience on this line, you're a junior. Just talk about the experience on the entire line and what that means to this group this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's flown by. It's kind of crazy to think this is already my 4th season coming up. So, but I think I've learned a ton and have a lot of experience, like you said, and I'm just excited for this upcoming season. And in any way I can help my teammates out with things that I've experienced in the past. That's what I'm going to try to do. So.
When you all are all out there and everybody has all of this experience, how much easier is it to really work together on your craft because you know that everybody has this experience under their belt?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just we have the same core group of guys, coming back, and I think just the more and more we play together, the closer we get. The more we know what each other's thinking, and we're just all on the same page sometimes without even talking. So,
Tomas, what are your goals this spring?
My goals this spring is just to get better fundamentally, because nobody can ever be too good at it, and that's something that I feel like I lacked sometimes when I was fatigued in those games last year. So I just want to take a next step forward so I can just not have to think about it and just go out there and play.
What is it like having Garrett and Nico behind you guys this year? Both experienced from last year, Garrett more so than Nico, very mobile quarterbacks. What's it like to play in front of them?
Well, I feel like they both have similar play styles, so it doesn't matter who's back there. We're going to block the same. But if anything, because they're mobile, it helps us out a little bit, gives us a little leeway. But, yeah.
I would say it helps us with our scheme a little bit. We can maybe do a little bit different things than maybe we could do with a less mobile quarterback. So, I mean, like incorporating some run plays for them, that'll be nice. And it adds an extra, or we gain an extra blocker when they run the ball. So looking forward to that.
A lot of improvement from 2021 to 2022. What would you like to see from last season to this season?
I would say just to keep building off of last season and never get complacent and just always try to strive to be better every day.
What can you guys teach the younger guys? A lot of experience on this line, but you have a lot of depth that the coaches are building as well.
I feel like just we can really help them out during these walkthroughs, because like when we take a step back, the 2s or 3s are up, we can just see like what they can need a little help on and just give them little tips and tricks.
Pac-Man Jones was here on Saturday. He gave a speech to the group. What was it like to hear from him?
Oh, I just loved his energy and his passion that he has for West Virginia. It was just awesome to see, especially a great like that came, through this building and, had a very successful career.
What did you think, Tomas?
I just think it was great seeing a former player be successful in the NFL, come back and still have this place mean so much to him. It just makes you feel like it's special and you don't want to take anything for granted.
That's right, that West Virginia football family, it is special. Speaking of family, your mom immigrated from Croatia when she was 14. Your father is 100% Croatian. You haven't been back. Have you ever been to Croatia?
No, I have not. No,
not been there. But your mom cooks a lot of the food, keeps that tradition alive. What are some of your favorite Croatian dishes?
One of my favorite is the meat pit that she makes. She always makes the spinach, but that one, I need some protein in it. She makes that.
You need that iron, too.
Exactly. Almost every time I'm home, so that's a good thing to look forward to. She just likes keeping that tradition alive, and I hope to do that later on.
Can you speak any language?
No, I can't. No.
That's all right.
I can understand a little bit, but has to be in the context. I wish I would.
Yeah. That's after college, right?
Yeah,
like after you have a little more time.
Exactly.
Zach, it's well known where you and I talked earlier about your mom and how you're using some of your NIL money. For people who really don't understand what you're using it for, kind of tell us what you've done for your mom.
So I mean, long story short, she has a MS, and we found that we can get her stem cell treatments out of the country. And those have been helping her so far. So we got her the first round of stem cell treatments last summer, and that's just I put my money towards that.
Yeah, which is really neat, because I think a lot of people think that when these athletes get the NIL money, and they do, you can spend it however you want, but you are doing something very special for your mom, and people should know that's how you're doing it. So I'm sure she's very appreciative of what you're doing as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so as we are this whole entire spring podcast, we are offering up these personalized autographed helmets, these mini Country Roads Trust helmets. Go to our website, countryroadstrust.com/autographs. You can buy a helmet from either one of these guys. They get 100% of the proceeds. They'll autograph it to you or whoever, and that's going to be something that you'll want to have on your shelf, in your man cave, woman cave, wherever it is. So support these guys. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great spring, and we look forward to this season.
Thanks for having us.
All right, more guys coming up next. We'll be right back. This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind. Welcome back to Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Country Roads Trust and Encova Insurance, your one-stop shop for home, auto, life, and business needs. They're ready for what's next. Joining me now, Doug Nestor, Wyatt Milum. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Doug, you are about to be a married man very soon. How you feeling about that?
Very nervous, can't lie.
What's more nerve-wracking, football or wedding?
have to say the wedding. I don't get the same nerves, that I do for a football game that I have right now for it.
I bet your coaches like to hear that one, so that's a good one. Spring practice, 1 week down. How is it feeling out there, first of all?
It's a great competition right now. We're getting better every day. Everybody's just learning and getting better together.
Yeah, I think, for the offensive line, since we're all back, our big thing right now is, just trying to improve our game, all across the board, learning new positions, learning, what our backs do, and learning the overall offense just a lot more.
You're taking reps at right tackle. Tell me about that transition from guard.
So I've played right tackle before, but, it is a switch because I have played, right guard for the past 2 seasons. I got 1 game of right tackle last year against Pitt, but, just trying to develop those skills that, are different there. Like, the first set, I have to get a lot deeper and, just finer details that I have to get better at tackle.
Wyatt, you started all 12 games last season at left tackle. What do you hope to improve upon with your own game this season?
Just my hand usage, just making sure they're tighter and inside, like keeping my head out on pass pro, and just moving people off the ball more on the run game.
A lot of experience with this line. You're a 5th-year senior. You came back. How exciting is it to know that the guys you're lining up with, they have a lot of experience? Obviously, you're always learning and trying to get better, but you don't have that learning curve that you would with a guy who doesn't have as much experience.
Right. So like I said, we're really just trying to improve our game, a lot more. Just we all know what to do. That's like you said, the big learning curve that we don't have anymore. So really just getting the finer details. And most of the time, there's a lot of communication up front with the O-line, but, we're getting to the point where we don't have to communicate as much because we all know what to do on each play.
A lot of depth, but I know the coaches are obviously trying to develop some of the younger guys. How can you guys use your experience to help those younger guys?
Like when they come in to get their plays, just sit back and just watch them. And when they do something wrong and when they come off, just let them know what they did wrong and what they can do to fix it next time.
Yeah, to add on to that, we do that. And then, a lot of time it's just a lot of film watching that we do all together. We come back here in the evenings and all watch film together and critique each other and really just try to be each other's coaches as much as possible.
You have 2 quarterbacks that are returning, that played here last year, that have experience. What does it mean to have those guys behind you? And they are very mobile, so how does that change from maybe what you had in JT Daniels last season?
All right. I think it gives us, just a lot more ease during pass protection, that we can, make a few mistakes here and there because they are so mobile and athletic. And, it just adds another basically running back to the game back there where, we can do a lot more on offense, a lot more read and everything like that.
Yeah, I also agree. Garrett and Nico, they can run. So, pass pro, it makes it if you make a mistake, they can get out of the situation for you. And just having an extra blocker with the running back, and they can run the ball outside too.
Speaking of running backs, you have some great backs coming back, a lot of experience. How important is it going to be for you guys to do your job so they can do their job and get the ball down the field?
It's going to be very important for us to do that. Let them us to get our blocks really, and just us do our job so they can do theirs. Basically, it would make the game a lot easier for us.
There's a lot of improvement from 2021 to 2022. How much pride did you guys take in bettering those numbers?
Oh, we took so much pride in it. We saw that we were last in sacks the previous season, and we took that as a challenge. None of us liked that. And, we all set out that next spring and fall, just to improve those numbers and, really be the best offensive line that we can be.
I agree. We definitely, my freshman year, I think we was last in the Big 12, and we definitely improved that, and we just want to keep improving each year on that.
What does spring ball mean to you guys?
Spring ball, honestly, just get better. It's the time to get better, learn the offense more, work on your communication, technique, and all that.
And fun, right? Obviously, you're not in season. You can make the mistakes that you don't want to make when you're actually in season. A lot more laid back.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot more laid back, with the mistakes, too. You can make a lot more mistakes, and, they're not as vital as they are. You're still learning right now, learning new techniques, and we've added a bunch of stuff to the offense that we need to improve on.
All right, so if you would like a personalized autographed mini Country Roads Trust helmet from one of these guys, all you have to do is go to countryroadstrust.com/autographs. They will autograph it to whoever you would like. We will send it to you, and they get the proceeds. And gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Have fun this spring, and we look forward to the 2023 season. All right, that's it for this edition of Climbing the Mountain, brought to you by Country Roads Trust. We are your name, image, and likeness team for West Virginia University student athletes. You can follow us all over social media. This has been brought to you by us and Encova Insurance. See you next week. This Climbing the Mountain podcast is brought to you by Encova Insurance. Hard work and passion are critical components of any winning strategy. Count on Encova Insurance as your local team to provide peace of mind.